I am your friendly neighborhood J-Man. This is the almost internet famous internet show, You Are Who You Are, and today we've got a vintage toy spotlight right after the headlines.
And now, the aggregator of awesome, the curator of cool, my dad, your friendly neighborhood Jman.
Before we start, I just want to point out to everybody that I decorated for Halloween, and you can't even see it because I'm standing right in front of my decorations. And this, don't mind any of this, this is supposed to be webbing, but whatever. Let's get started. Over the last few weeks, Marvel has been teasing several images from past events, all stating they're coming back in 2015. We're talking stories like Old Man Logan, the Hulk-centric Future Imperfect, and the latest image they teased, MJ and Peter Parker being married again, with what looks to be like their kid. At least, I hope it's their kid. If it's not, then it's pretty weird Marvel's teasing images of random kids just hanging off of Spidey. But we all know they've done crazy shit in the past. Those are only just a few of the storylines Marvel plans to revisit in one way or the other in 2015. What does this all mean? If I know. Anything I say is guaranteed to be wrong, so why bother? Alls I know is that there's some interesting shit going down at the House of Ideas lately. Meanwhile, on the other side of the comic book street is DC. They've also got a lot of shit going on the next couple months into 2015. Multiple storylines coming together, the 30th anniversary of Crisis on Infinite Earths. It all seems to tie into Warner Brothers moving DC's editorial offices from New York to LA next spring. BleedingCool.com coined this whole convergence Band-Aid. Rumors had suggested some major event to ensue, perhaps being called Blood Moon, but now Bleeding Cool is reporting DC is one-upping the comic news site and calling this whole thing, wait for it, Convergence. So, what's the deal with this whole Band-Aid / Blood Moon / Convergence thing anyway? Fuck if I know. Much like Marvel's event for 2015, there's only speculation and conjecture at this point. It looks like it may involve Brainiac, the multiverse, and probably Attila the Hun too. What it won't include? The New 52. So if any of this is true, it looks like the status quo isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Details, I promise, will follow. Sideshow Collectibles, an online retailer known for making me very sad with all their wonderful yet pricey toys, is now selling fine art prints. Listen guys, how much more money do you want from me? The prints measure 18 by 24, are hand numbered as opposed to foot numbered, and retail for $79.99. The first three prints in the new collection include Poison Ivy by Art Germ, Spider-Woman by W. Scott Forbes, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Kier, Call of the Forsaken Valkyrie by Dave Palumbo. But don't bother rushing over to Sideshow's website. The prints, which have 200 and 150 limited runs respectively, have all sold out. There's always the waitlist though. In what was a closely guarded secret event held at the El Capitan Theater in Los Angeles, California, Marvel unveiled its movie lineup for 2015 through 2020. Hey DC, come here. Look guys, I'm glad you released your movie slate before Marvel. Thank God you did that. But if you want to do it right, you gotta follow Marvel's lead here. Next time, make it an event. All they did was talk about their next 9 movies, and the internets went batshit crazy. That's it. You guys can do the same thing. Hell, you can even capitalize on what Marvel did wrong. Stream the event. Break the fucking internets. But, you know it's best. And finally, speaking of Marvel movies, the Age of Ultron trailer leaked last week onto the internets. Instead of sicking lawyers onto them, Marvel did the rare right thing and embraced it. Kudos to you, Marvel. Kudos. Not only did they embrace it, in fact, but they capitalized on it as well. They blamed Hydra and released a high-quality version of the trailer the same evening it was leaked. I'm free. I could stand here all day and watch this trailer.
There are no
Actually, it kind of reminds me of another movie.
There is no escape. Don't
We'll be right
let me
back.
destroy you.
Chewie, an Imperial robot is searching for the rebel base.
It's Kenner's new turret and probot playset. You have to put it together.
Let's check it out, Chewbacca. Keep me covered with a laser cannon.
Action figures each sold separately. You can move Han Solo with the action lever and knock out the probot.
We got him, Chewie! Yay! But now they know where we are.
New turret and probot playset from Kenner's Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back. Action figures each sold separately.
Welcome back. One of the greatest things about being an adult is trying to recapture your lost childhood. And what better way to do that than whiling away thousands of hours on eBay hunting down toys that your mom threw away years ago? Thanks, Mom. Better yet, or worse yet, depending on how you want to look at it, hunting down toys that you wanted as a kid that your folks never got you. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Case in point, earlier this year I wrote a piece about a Star Wars micro collection playset that I wanted in the worst way as a kid, but apparently I didn't lay it on thick enough for my folks to catch on. My kids, on the other hand, they have completely mastered the art of parental harassment. The set I wanted was from The Empire Strikes Back. It was a micro set called Bespin World. Basically, it was a scaled-down version of Cloud City with die-cast figures. The playsets were sold as either 3 smaller individual sets or as one huge collected make every kid in your neighborhood jealous of you set. I guess I shouldn't complain too much about my folks not listening to me, because I did get one of the individual sets for Christmas. I got the Bespin control room. Good effort on your part, Mom and Dad. The set I really wanted, the carbonite freezing chamber. I mean, just look at that thing. Isn't it glorious? The worst part about it was that one of the local neighborhood kids had the set, along with every other Star Wars toy imaginable. Yeah, he was one of those kids. The one where his parents were totally compensating for something. Lucky bastard. He wasn't the sharing type either. In fact, he wasn't the type to leave the house at all. So my interaction with the carbonite freezing chamber was from afar. Very afar. Through some miracle of divine intervention, thoughts of the carbonite freezing chamber percolated back up into the surface of my consciousness earlier this year. I ended up writing about it, then sent myself on a mission to track the f***er down. Now, the thing about recovering lost toys is the price factor. Sure, with a little bit of patience, every toy eventually will turn up on eBay. As Ricky says,
one man's garbage, another person's good on garbage, and I'm gonna roll with that.
But that trash often comes at a price, a very high price. In the case of Bespin World, upwards of $1,000 American. Granted, that's all 3 of the individual sets combined, nicely appointed and probably in near mint condition, all of which I don't really need, so I settled. Lost youth or not, there's no way on God's green planet that I'm spending that kind of money on a toy. Sometimes you do have to be an adult and you gotta have priorities. I guess if it was that important to me, I would have nudged my parents just a little bit more to get me the right toy. But that's just another downside of being a stupid kid. Besides, I don't really need the box or any of that crap, because why?
Open your toys!
And since I was smart enough to take care of the set my folks disappointingly got me, I didn't care 2 shits about the 3rd set of the ensemble. I focused my attention like a laser on the carbonite chamber. The funny thing is, while searching for the set, I stumbled across something else that I had as a kid that I realized I needed even more now as an adult. Die-cast Star Wars ships. Once I remembered the one ship I had, the TIE Fighter, I was flooded with more memories of all the other ships I used to own. Now these I might have liked on a card in some sort of mint condition. Again, I can't spend that kind of money. There's so many other figures I'm denying myself, I just can't justify it. So, just like the freeze chamber set, I started tracking down those vehicles loose. And over the course of the last few months, I'm happy to report that I've been reunited with all my lost toys. Well, not all of them. There's still that issue of a certain Mego Elastic Spider-Man. It's my ridiculously overpriced once, well, ever. Mego's Elastic Hero Spider-Man. This thing... But, you want to know something? Getting these things, while satisfying on some level, really hasn't made me feel any different. It didn't close any open circles, didn't heal any open wounds. There were no doves either. Nothing. I mean, there could have been at least pigeons loose or something when I opened the box, but nope. All in all, except for the hunt, it was pretty goddamn disappointing experience. Moral of the story, let the past stay in the past and save your cash for the toys you really want. And ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have for today's show. I'd like to thank myself for putting all this shit together. Don't forget to head on over to my website, yfnjman.com, for more fun and a little bit more excitement. You can check me out on your favorite social media. I'm on the Twitter, I'm on the Facebook, and I'm even on the Google+. All you gotta do is search. Don't forget to check me out on the Fanboy Factor podcast every Monday at fanboyfactor.com. Until next time, I remain
burdened with glorious purpose.
And over the course of the last few months, I'm happy to report that I have been happy, reunited, fuckily, juckily duck. I have no idea what the fuck I just said. I think I said fuckily, duckily, juck. And over the